It's a good practice to implement a /me endpoint in any API. So basically an endpoint where a user can retrieve his own data. All right? And so let's now very quickly implement that. And so basically it's going to be something very similar to these update me and delete me endpoints that we already have, right? So let's add export.getMe, all right? Now we still actually want to use the get1 factory function. So basically this one here, right? Because otherwise it would be very, very similar code to this one. Now the only problem with this is that get1 basically uses the ID coming from the parameter in order to get the requested document. But what we want to do now is to basically get the document based on the current user ID. So the ID coming from the currently logged in user, okay? And so that way we don't have to pass in any ID as a URL parameter, right? So how can we do that? Well, very simple. All we will do here is a very simple middleware, which is going to go like this. So as always, request, response, next. And then all we're going to do is to say request.params.id, which remember is what the get1 is going to use, and set it equal to request.user.id. And that's it. All right. And so we will then add this middleware here before calling get1. So let's implement that. So user routes, and I'm going to add it right here. So router.get/me. And now, of course, we need to be logged in. So protect, and this will then add the user to the current request, which, as you already know, will then allow us to read the ID from that user, right? Then the next step is to then basically put that user ID into the params.id, okay? So basically faking that the ID is actually coming from the URL. So user controller .get me, and then finally user controller get user. Okay, makes sense? Let's now very quickly test this out. And so it's going to be a bit similar to this, but then /me. Of course, we need authorization. Okay. And I'm also saving this in the users, and to get current user. Okay. Let's actually edit these names because they look different. So they have this data here for some reason. Okay, that this one doesn't, but it still is wrong here. All right, and so let's now, just to make sure, log in as this admin. All right, and so now get the data about this current user. So nothing in the body, nothing in the URL, but we still get the data about ourselves. So name, email, role, and really all the data that there is about this user. Nice. So again, you saw the great power of middleware, where it was so easy to simply implement this getMe middleware, so that then after that we can use our simple getUser. So that one coming from the factory function, right? Okay, and that's it. That's all we had to do for this small task.